Then we both know what you have to do.
No. Not when we could be minutes away from a cure.
Can we really take that risk?
It's not risk. It's hope. And anyone who's seen a zombie movie knows that that's the key to survival. Plus, it's also your name, and that's gotta mean something.
Oh, kid. How do you do it?
See all these movies? AV Club.
No. How do you stay so upbeat?
And I'm Noah, and you're listening to A Bite Of,
where we take our current favorite pop culture obsession and enjoy it one zombie nibble at a time.
Ooh, A Bite Of means totally different thing this episode. Wee!
Gonna bite your favorite Avengers.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, you guys. Hi, you guys.
So we're like over halfway with What If. Before we get into it and everything, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at A Bite of Pod, and we have a Patreon. You can join that, support us in a different way. It's great. But so we're more than halfway with What If. How are you feeling about it? I'm really curious. I've been wanting to ask you this, but I didn't want to know the answer until I asked you on here.
Okay, well, listen, I don't think you're going to like my answer.
Probably not. That's why I wanted to ask.
Okay, because I'm over it.
Whoa. Okay. Never mind. Let's cut this out. We still have 4 episodes.
No, it's not that. I think my thing is it feels like there's no joy in any of it.
There was.
Well, no. So
the first 2 episodes.
Exactly. And that's it. And they just keep getting worse. And I feel like with this one, they kept trying to crack jokes, but it was horrible things were still happening. So it's just kind of I think I would like to see at least 1 or 2 more of these alternate universes where it doesn't end with the end of the world.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what superhero things are, right? The end of the world is happening, so that's why the story's being told.
Yeah, but the whole point of a superhero story is that we have that moment of, oh no, and people got snapped for 5 years, but guess what? They all come together again and they save everyone. Yeah,
these last couple ones have been kind of depressing. I think with the whole thing with What If and it being alternate universes and alternate timelines, they can just destroy them and be oops, I mean, we can't tell this in the normal one, but we can tell it in this one. But I think the thing that not bugs me about it, and I know there is one overarching narrative with it.
Sure.
I'm just not clear what that is yet. I know the Watcher is the constant through line, which, I mean, 5 episodes in, last episode, he kind of made himself known to people, but other than that, I'm waiting. I'm okay, is this series just going to drop some really big, phase 4 bombshell? You know what I mean? It's how is this going to tie into the MCU canon? I mean,
it's sort of feeling like there's no hope in the last 2 episodes.
I got it.
But that it might not. It might not tie to anything.
Has to. And
it would be more fun for me if they kind of got into the realm of some of the more wackier ones that, especially if they're not going to tie together, some of the wackier ones that the comics got into, I don't know, Peter's bitten by a radioactive bunny and he becomes Bunny Man. I don't think that's a real story, but do you know what I mean? Let's have just a little more fun?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Right, exactly.
I have no idea.
Exactly. So, okay,
they are bleak.
They're bleak.
Yeah.
And especially this one, not to get too thinking about it, but we're still in the middle of a pandemic. You know what I mean? Or we're in whatever time frame of a pandemic. It's I don't need to know about another world where there's another pandemic.
Well, zombies.
You know what I mean, though? It's don't breathe on your neighbor or whatever. Don't bite your neighbor in this world.
Spoilers.
Don't bite your neighbor.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay, there's spoilers ahead. So just so everybody knows, obviously, if you have not watched the latest What If episode, we're going to be breaking it down and talking about it from here on out.
Yep.
But before we do that, let's kind of take a little step back and look at the most depressing episode so far.
Before we bite into this depressing episode, let's look at a different type of depressing episode. So in What If episode 4, what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? In this universe, Doctor Strange is led to the mystical arts through the same car accident, but instead of having his surgical skills taken away from him, it is Christine. His grief drives him to discover a way to bring her back, but no matter how many times he tries to rewrite the past, he still loses his love. This drives him to an ancient library where he steals the powers of countless magical beings, only to become a monster himself that destroys the universe. The Watcher makes himself known, but it's all too late.
Yep.
And
Sad.
that's that. Yep.
That one, I liked that episode a lot. I thought the writing was fantastic. I liked that it was a different type of Doctor Strange that nobody has seen in the MCU. I mean, I think he's only had one movie, and other than that, he really hasn't been in the movies. People know Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Spider-Man, but people don't know Doctor Strange, and I'm excited for them to get to know him.
I will say that about this series, about What If, is that it puts other characters in the spotlight.
Yeah, Tony has really not been a focus, neither has Cap, which I've been... Even though the first episode was based around Steve Rogers' story and Cap's origin, it was Peggy Carter. So it is cool that it's like they're using this to piggyback and then also show different characters.
They're using this to piggyback?
I knew you were going to.
Yeah!
As I was like processing what I was going to say in my head, I was like, he's going to say it.
Well, if you think about it, the 2 episodes that Tony Stark was in, he dies. Or he's already dead in this one.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen so many of our characters die in this show that's like bringing the tallies of how many times we've seen these characters in the MCU die very high.
Yeah. It also kind of feels a little like, it's like, oh, what would I be in an alternate universe? Well, according to What If, you're dead.
Yep.
No matter what.
Every possible outcome.
Right.
Dead.
Exactly.
Always.
Unless you're Peggy Carter, then you're fine.
I'm pretty sure. Now, do your little 15-second skip on this part if you don't want to know maybe a spoiler for the rest of the series.
Oh.
But there is a still that came out that shows Strange Supreme with Captain Carter. Like, they're talking, they're face-to-face. So,
ooh.
I mean, I'm assuming that maybe starting next week or, we're running out of episodes here. So we're going to see if this all ties together or if there was some big purpose for all of this.
So, let's just for a minute think about it, right? So, when we last saw her, she was bursting out of some sort of Cthulhu time warp thing, but with tons of exploding tentacles.
Well, they both had the episode that had the tentacle.
Well, right. And then that's the connection, is that he took the tentacles from the guy. So did she destroy the tentacle monster, or did he destroy the tentacle monster and she just happened to be in the world where he took the tentacle monster from?
He only took the tentacles. He didn't take the monster.
But I mean, he sliced the tentacles off. So, and then when she came out, some tentacles came out with her that had gotten sliced off.
Yeah, maybe he has 50,000 tentacles. I don't know.
I'm just saying, maybe it's the same moment. Yeah. She was there when he took the thing.
Maybe.
All right, before we do any more of these kind of crazy connections, let's get into it and officially take a bite of What If Episode 5, What If Zombies?
I'm very happy that this week's title was one word instead of the long sentence that last week's was.
And I do love that there are both an exclamation point and a question mark.
Oh, yeah. That very true.
Exciting.
So before we break down this episode, the voice cast for this one, everybody is literally the same except for one glaring missing person, Tom Holland.
Yeah.
He is not playing Spider-Man, but musician and Mad Men actor Hudson Thanes fills in as Peter Parker. So there you go. It's weird. Why are some of these guys? It's interesting. It's like maybe they were filming or...
Yeah, it's got to be scheduling stuff because so many of them have come back, for one or two. I think it would be different if none of them came back, but it's got to be scheduling stuff.
Yeah, because most of them come back except for certain ones. But it's weird. Every single episode, one person is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I don't know. What if we got a What If series with everybody coming back?
What if?
But I think he did a good job. I really did not notice.
Yeah, I agree. I in watching it the first time, I was like, oh, that could be Tom Holland. And then I saw that it wasn't. And And then listening back, I'm like, okay, yeah, it is a little different, but he did a good job.
Yeah, if once you know that it's not him, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. All right, so after his time on Sakaar in Thor Ragnarok, Bruce Banner returns to Earth to warn his fellow Avengers about Thanos. But when he arrives at the Sanctum Sanctorum, he's unable to find Doctor Strange. But we do see his cloak of levitation just watching him sit there. He goes outside, hoping to find someone to discuss the imminent danger with, but he's met by Emily Ma and Cull Obsidian, 2 members of the Black Order, just like in Avengers Infinity War. So that puts a timestamp on where this episode is. It's literally happening at the beginning of Avengers Infinity War. And if you're wondering why Thor's not there, or maybe Loki, they were busy, Loki was busy dying, and, Thor was stuck on the ship with the last of the Asgardians, so that's why he's not here.
Yeah, and when Hulk lands in the Sanctum Sanctorum, he says Thanos is coming.
Right.
The whole point is that he's supposed to be warning them, but them is not there.
There's nobody.
Nope.
But before Ma can finish explaining why he's come to Earth, they are killed by Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong. Bruce believes their actions to be overkill, but then realizes that they are flesh eaters, and they're zombies, and it's not great. Mm-hmm. So right off the bat, we get, okay, they're zombies, it's already happening. Sorry about it.
Nums.
With some assistance With the assistance from the Cloak of Levitation, the Wasp and Spider-Man save Bruce from the attacks. Mm-hmm. But I did not appreciate these flying ants eating people. I'm not okay with it. I'm one that will save insects and stuff, but like, I don't know why that grossed me out more than the actual zombies eating people.
It was also like a swarm.
Yeah.
And it was like, were they just tearing them apart? But then if they're eating them, I guess it doesn't affect ant brains. It only affects human brains, because they were chowing down on that entire group of zombified heroes/villains.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Prince of Egypt. The locusts, the plagues.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Now, does Hope not control wasps? She only controls ants.
Well, yeah, she does control ants because it's the same technology as Hank Pym, but I believe in the comic she does control wasps.
But in this, they are flying ants.
Yeah, which to me, some flying ants, I believe, do sting. So it's like, what's the difference?
Also, I'm just saying, this seems like a great power to have that she used quite well in this scene, yet we don't see it the rest of the time.
Welcome to comic book stuff.
Oh, come on.
It's like, 2 issues ago, you were able to defeat this person that's twice as powerful as this one with one single thing, but yet somehow you forgot how to do it.
Right. Hope does some other stuff later that I question. We'll get into it.
I will say, though, like, I'm a big fan because we see that no matter that the Avengers are zombies, they still have access to their power sets.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of that type of zombie in zombie media where they, like, still know how to do things.
Yeah.
It just makes them more scary. Like, if they're the very slow walking, it's like, okay, you could probably just outrun them. Don't let them herd up. They'll be fine. But this, zombies using magic, zombies using Iron Man's suit, no thank you.
Yeah, they still have their skills.
Yeah.
It would have been a much more boring episode if they didn't.
That's true. They're just walking around with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do.
What would I be doing as one of these zombies? I'd just be reading.
Yeah.
You're just sitting
throwing books.
Exactly. I just go back to work, I guess. And then just look for brains every so often.
Probably. All right. In this universe, Hank Pym's Ant-Man and the Wasp's journey to the quantum realm to receive his long-lost wife, Janet, went badly wrong when he found her infected with a quantum zombie brain virus upon his arrival. When she returned, Janet started gnawing on everything within reach, and the virus spread like wildfire, affected millions. The whole Northeast was just gone within 24 hours.
Yep.
So Hank is responsible for 2 universes being fucked.
Oh, yeah. No. We got to get rid of the Pyms. That's it. The whole Pym brigade.
I mean, this one was an accident. I will give him that. But also, like, you still caused it.
Again, the problem with these zombies is that they still have the skills. So even though he got bitten and turned into a zombie in the quantum realm, he was like, hey, let's get back in this ride and go back and go bite some people.
Yeah. Which is also scary, though, because so the quantum realm is just housing a zombie virus? Is that what's happening?
I mean, looks like we need to disinfect the old quantum realm.
Let's give it a good old shot of the Pfizer.
That's right. Moderna.
So Cap, Widow, Hawkeye, Iron Man, and Black Panther apparently set out with arguably the worst Cap plan ever to turn back the tide and get eaten by a bunch of zombies. I don't know what they, like, I mean, Tony Stark is, I almost said it the wrong way.
Tony
is very smart. I don't know why they would just show up on a bridge of all places to just think that they can just destroy all the zombies. I don't know.
Also, mini baby Pym zombie was just waiting.
Oh, okay. Zombies that are tiny, that is terrifying because Cap didn't even see it and he got turned. That's how he got turned, by a little tiny mosquito.
Right away.
Imagine?
Yeah.
Imagine.
Like, why? Okay. Like, so why wouldn't he just give his neck a good old slap? What the heck happened to the rest of them? Why did they get eaten so quickly?
Because zombies.
They just landed dead in the middle. They're like, don't worry, we'll just go in the most populated area in San Francisco.
It's so weird. And on the bridge of all places. Right. But yeah, they all died pretty quickly. And this is what, number 4 or 5 that we've seen Black Widow die?
Oh.
I mean, we didn't really see her die, but she's dead.
In this universe, the Avengers are dum-dums.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And say very inappropriate jokes at bad times. Yeah. That's what we've learned this whole episode.
It reminds me of early Marvel, like movies and stuff, because they did a lot more quips.
Yeah.
In their dialogue and stuff, and I felt like this one, it was like they were doing it a lot. Also, you had Spider-Man and Scott Lang in the same thing, so it was like, okay, there's gonna be quips.
Scott Lang.
There's a lot. Oof. So Spider-Man takes Bruce to meet the rest of the survivors, including Bucky Barnes, Sharon Carter, Happy Hogan, Kirk, which has no last name, and Okoye, and explains how to make it through the apocalypse via a Spider-Man homemade vlog video of some sort. I just love that, like, he lost everybody. Like, Aunt May lost all these people, but he's like, but hey, check out my vlog.
YouTube still exists. I guess it's like, how would a teenager tell the world how to save themselves?
Yeah.
You make a fun YouTube video. I did like all of the nicknames and the skills for each of them. So it was Happy, Never Actually Happy Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Skills, Driving, Coffee, Boxing. Kurt was just Resident Weirdo. And his skills are Languages, Slavic Folklore, and Crime.
Yep.
Bucky, Silent But Deadly Barnes. Murder, Killer Arm, Heavy Sleeper. And Sharon the Blood... I know, that's awful.
I just got it.
Yeah. And Sharon the Blood Bond Carter, Spycraft First Aid Eulogies.
Yep.
That's a roast.
She did give a good eulogy for Peggy.
And then she gave Cap that old wink.
Yeah, okay. Well, we don't talk about
hey,
that.
boo.
That's weird, right? I mean, It's weird.
She said, you like what you see at the pulpit, baby. Let's go.
I know you liked my aunt, but I'm younger.
It dyed my hair.
No, gross. But the fact that he got Bucky to, like, agree to do this video, also, like, a shower scene was amazing.
I don't think he did. That's the whole point. They just surprised him. He wasn't
actively showering, was he?
Yes.
No.
Bucky Barnes parts hanging out in the wind.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's why he choked Kurt out.
Okay. I will say that Sebastian Stan's voice acting was much better in this one.
Agreed.
Than it was in the first one.
Yes.
Because I didn't notice that it was bad.
Good job, Mr. Stan.
Mm-hmm. We stand the Stan. Shortly after, the group catches wind that another camp, is it Lehigh? Lehigh. I could, every time they said it, I was just like, what did they say? Leah? What? Anyway. That camp has made progress on a cure, so they head out to reach them Train Busan style, which is an amazing movie, by the way. You should watch it.
Agreed.
While at Grand Central Station, Zombie Falcon and Hawkeye arrive and throw a wrench in the plan. Sadly, Happy is killed in the attack by Hawkeye, blam, further dampening Peter's hope for a W, but the rest of the group manages to escape on a train. This whole scene, the visual of Falcon getting cut in half by Okoye is something that, what is this rated? Because I feel like this episode really tipped the line of being like, is this rated MA? Because I see blood, I see people eating things, people are getting cut in half. Come on.
I think the cartoon violence lowers the rating.
Maybe. It's not like as realistic looking.
Yeah. Although I will say I did not like seeing the arrows through the shoulders.
Yeah, when Happy got...
Ooh, and then Sharon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got pinned to a wall with an arrow.
yeah.
Which, okay, let me say, one, Hawkeye still has yet to win me over in the MCU. I still cannot stand him. Why was he able to shoot that well, both of them? He shot Happy in the shoulder, was able to pull him back, shot Sharon, pinned her against the wall, but then he shot like 3 more times and missed her. And he was like 5 feet in front of her. Come on. I know the suspense and I know it's for the plot, but like,
We are having problems with the storytelling, Marvel. Okay. Yeah, I also like that he like kind of like pops out of the shadows and he's just like, ah. We're like, oh, it's Hawkeye. Got it. Ah.
Yeah, which I was like, okay, scary.
Yeah.
Like-
and also Happy's blamming as he's getting pulled to him and doesn't hit him once.
Well, to be fair, it's dark. So, like, I give it to him, but the fact that he was blamming after he turned into a zombie was fantastic.
Agreed.
I loved it.
We all keep our skills.
It's so good. All right. So after the rest of the group manages to escape and gets on the train, Zombie Cat climbs aboard and turns Sharon into a zombie. Bye-bye, Power Broker. Which leads to Bucky fighting him. And this gives us a tiny itty-bitty bit of time where, like, Bucky is Cap when he grabs his shield and he uses it to cut Cap in half. But, yay, he puts it on his back, you know?
And he says, sorry, pal. I guess this is the end of the line.
Okay, his voice acting is better in this one. I made no promises about his lines.
Yeah. I will say, I did like the little moment where Bucky was talking to Cap after Cap had bitten Sharon, and you see her little like pinky finger like give a little tick because the virus is taking over her body and she's reanimating.
The virus works very fast.
So fast.
That's scary.
Happy was blamming, and then a second later, full on running as a zombie.
Zombie blamming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zablamming.
It's the blamming.
Mm-hmm.
The shot with Zombie Cap on the like coming up on the train, the close up and everything is great. I thought it was one of the more like horror focused shots in this episode, but I do love that these episodes have scenes like this in every single one where depending on the genre of story that they're telling, they use like the cinematic, I guess, camera shots in a way to convey that genre. And I felt like this one really did it. It was like actiony and also horror-y.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like it. There's like very small creative things that you notice. Each of these episodes has a different like fingerprint on it. And I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I really liked that Cap moment. I'm good with words.
Hope ends up saving Bucky by shrinking and then expanding inside of zombie Sharon, but gets infected because she had a cut on her arm.
Guys.
Where'd she get the cut from? I don't know, but she's infected now.
They just explained, she didn't watch the video because in the video, they're like saliva. And then she's like, I'll go in her mouth?
Oh, that makes sense.
Come on,
Okay.
Hope.
I was thinking, I was like, what if she just had the cut and it was like she was going to be fine?
Yeah,
And
true.
Then she sacrificed herself and it was like, oops.
She's like, all right, kill me. Yeah, because that's another thing. Can we talk about that? Right? So she had a cut on her arm. She went in her mouth. There's saliva right away. So she didn't get bitten. I'm like, okay, maybe if you get bitten, it happens faster. But we just said how fast it takes over.
It probably is bitten.
And then in this moment, she had like at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, it is weird. That's the only thing in like the zombie genre that's weird. It's like, I know The Walking Dead tried to describe it of like, you know, if you get bit on the ankle and you amputate that limb fast enough, the virus can't get to your heart, which then would pump it everywhere. So it's like, maybe because it was a cut and it wasn't physically bitten with the zombie, then it's just going to take longer because she was fighting it, because she is the embodiment of hope. I don't know.
Because she believed.
She believed. So, yeah, she's fighting off the infection, but she doesn't have long, and then they reach the camp.
Yeah.
That's the next part.
And it's like a train surrounded by that many zombies just sounds like a Monday morning to me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There's a lot of zombies at this camp.
Terrible.
Yep. I will say the chemistry between Hope and Peter in this episode was just absolutely amazing. The Spider-Man in this universe really lost everyone he was closest to, but in spite of everything that happened, he still had hope.
Oh my
Both
God.
Hope the person and Hope the, what is it? Emotion? Feeling? What is hope?
What? This is too deep. What
Right?
is hope?
Like, if you were to say, like, because, love is a feeling. Is hope a feeling, too?
I
Or
think
is it a
so.
state of
You feel
being?
hopeful. I feel hopeful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is hopeful the same
Yeah.
thing as having hope?
Yes. Synonyms. Synonyms.
I'm just making sure.
No, I think so. Hey guys, comment below.
I never say these things out loud, and when I say them out loud, I'm like, wait, why is that way?
Do I sound crazy?
But in the end, Hope makes a noble sacrifice while getting the survivors over the hordes of zombies to the camp. I will say that one of the biggest emotional punches in this episode is after she lets all of them down. She says, "Smile for me, okay?" When she's talking to Peter, and I was just like, "Oh."
And then the next thing she should have done was hit the button to shrink herself.
Why?
Because we really need a giant zombie.
Oh yeah, she wasn't thinking about that.
And also,
Yeah.
all right, listen, you're not a zombie yet. Do me a favor. Stomp on a couple more of them for me.
Just scoop
Lay
a bunch
down
of them up.
and roll. Crush them. Why didn't we do this? Just poor planning.
She just got her visor punched in, and she had the virus working through her body. Like,
That would have been part of my plan. All right, I'm going to get really big. And then once I drop you guys off, I'm going to stop, drop, and roll. And I'm going to steamroll these zombies and make a zombie paste.
maybe she was just like, you know what? I just walked a whole 3 feet this
I'm
way.
tired.
I'm tired.
I don't want to. You guys are on your own.
But anyway, the emotional impact of that scene was still good.
Yeah.
They're like the duo I did not know I wanted, and I can't wait to see more of them in the MCU. Hopefully that they both survived.
Hopefully.
Okay. The episode did that enough. I didn't know if they were talking about the person Hope or the feeling Hope or both of them at the same time. I'm done with it.
So that's the whole thing. In these last 2 episodes, Hope has been the main through line. So I think the big reveal for Phase 4 is that Hope Van Dyne is the newest, greatest Avenger.
Hope, you're our only hope. Like, help me, Obi-Wan.
Oh
you're my
my!
only
And
hope.
then she's going to the galaxy. Oh my God, it's crazy. More space adventures.
So at the camp, they notice that the zombies don't want to step foot past the boundary. They then discover Vision is the one who found a cure through the power of the Mind Stone, which is also what's keeping the zombies away. It's always frequencies. They never explain what frequencies mean, why everybody just knows what that means. It's fine. But I feel like, especially in the MCU, they're like, these frequencies make these people's heads explode. These frequencies give people more power. It's like, oh, okay. It's always frequencies.
Oh, frequencies and just words that I didn't even try and take notes on. like Dr. Banner was like, it's a hyperfliminephenernum.
Oh, the hexa something code?
Yeah. And then he said something like that when they get to Vision too. I'm like, all right. I don't know. This sounds like a fakey fake.
This is why we need Darcy Lewis to say stuff.
Yes.
Because even though she does say that type of stuff, there's always a dumb person around that she has to then explain it.
Yeah.
Always happens, but I love the way she explains it. So,
and you know what? I was just going to say, I'm like, you're right. We need Darcy in these What If episodes. But you know what? I don't want Darcy in these episodes because I don't want to see Darcy die.
yeah, her and Jimmy need to stay far, far away from What If.
They're just in their own little pockets of the universe doing cool things and being awesome.
I'm surprised. What if we do get like a WandaVision What If? Or Loki? What? No, because I know we're getting a Black Widow based on the movie episode next season for What If, but I don't know how. Whatever.
Zombie Vision.
Yeah, I'm confused. Well, we'll
Zombie
see.
Vision. Zombie Vision.
So turns out Vision was he only managed to cure the severed head of Scott Lang. Because why not? I mean, it can happen.
Because they said if you didn't think there were enough quips in the first half of this episode, we're going to dial it up to 1,000.
They literally brought the 2 quippiest people into one show. And it was fine. Like, I felt like, really? Okay, if I'm going to be honest, the only one that I rolled my eyes at that Scott said was Wingardium Leviosa. I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's because the cape is flying and you're flying. No, Don't do that.
I would just like, okay.
Also, that's Warner Brothers, not Disney.
I mean, also true. Infringement. I'm just like, okay. Look, I love a quip. I can't stop with quips. I love a joke. We all know that, right? That's like the point of me being here. But like, I'm sorry, if someone was being eaten, I don't think I would make a quip about them being eaten.
Well, you're not Scott Lang.
Especially someone that was like my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the issues that some people had with some of the MCU movies. It was like, okay, it's a little quippy, like there's jokes all the time. This one felt that way, where I was just like, there's a quip, but for some reason, it's like when Spider-Man was doing it, it was like, okay, like it's clear that he's like hiding his sadness. He's always trying to stay upbeat. Scott was just kind of being Scott, which was fine, but it did take away from the tone of some of it.
Right. It was the juxtaposition of the tone. That's kind of what I was talking about before. It was like, look, we know this is gross and serious and people are dying, and I understand wanting to make it give it a little more levity, but it's like they're not meshing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Scott's jokes just seemed not forced, but it was just like, okay. Like, I could see that you were going to say something there. I hoped you wouldn't.
They're like, we're paying this much for Rudd. We're getting the most out of him that we can.
They just asked him, okay, write like 15 jokes. We're going to use all of them. I don't care what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
He was great. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Okoye realizes that they can use Vision's research to cure the zombie population, but only from Wakanda, where the tech they need could easily be constructed, because Wakanda's the best. And it's also the last human sanctuary on Earth, because Wakanda's the best.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But Vision is hiding a dark secret that Bucky discovers when he finds a still alive T'Challa in one of the labs. Whoopsies. Vision has been keeping Black Panther alive to feed his zombie witch bride because the Scarlet Witch's powers have resisted the treatment. I'm so tired of these two. They like, okay, come on. Like, it is good, though, that if the roles were reversed in WandaVision, that Vision would do something just as terrible to keep his love for Wanda there. But it's like the good side of his powers can't help you, because why? Come on.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Vision is like logical enough to really think this through and not think it's the best idea.
Didn't, though. He didn't until he saw his friends being attacked by his zombie bride. But it's like, I'm more scared of him, though, because he knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Wanda didn't know what she was doing. And she was a victim of grief and manipulation. So it's like, okay, that's fine. But Vision, he scares me because he's also a robot. And you know how stories with robots go. It never turns out great.
No. They take over and they don't care.
We saw what Ultron did. No, thank you.
And he's Ultron.
Yeah.
Ish.
I mean, they're all one and the same.
Beautiful.
Vision couldn't bring himself to kill her, obviously. I'm saying that like I didn't write this. So he tried to contain her. But she's awake now, and Kurt is her first meal. Bye, Kurt. You were great in Ant-Man, but you are Wanda's first meal.
And as he's being eaten, Scott yells out, "Watch out, she's a man-eater." Inappropriate.
Of course, zombie Wanda is terrifying. The visuals for her in this episode were just chef's kiss. Amazing. I loved it. That's not how you do a chef's kiss. Nope. Most likely feeling guilty seeing his friends attacked, Vision helps them escape with a nearby quad jet, but he can't bring himself to leave his beloved, which is sweet, I guess. I mean, he lured people there to be her meals anyway, so it was like you might as well just stay there with it. He commits suicide by pulling a mind stone from his head, so that hope remains for a cure. I didn't realize how many hope things I put in this when I was writing it, so I'm sorry.
H-O-P-E. Hope. Hope. You and me.
Aw.
Zombie.
Oh, okay. Well,
which one do you like?
Wait, there was more than one?
Well, I edited it. I edited it.
Okay. But again, how many times are we going to see Vision die?
Look, one way or another, someone or something or is plucking that stone out of his head. That's just his
He did
his
it
way.
himself this
Yeah,
time.
I know.
4 times we've seen him die. 4.
Okay, Vish, you know how powerful zombie Zwanda is, okay?
Zwanda.
So
Zwanda.
maybe do something about it before you sacrifice yourself.
Zwanda.
Okay?
Did you mean to say Zwanda?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, every time you say like zombie someone, I keep trying to put them together, and Zwanda just works. I felt the
There's
best.
Zwanda, Zucky,
Well,
Sharon Zarder.
but we could also go the other way, like Shambi.
Oh, Okoze.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Okoze? Yeah. Scott Zhang. Peter Zarker.
Captain America zombie. Zombie America.
Comment below and tell us, make up some good zombie names.
Yeah, tell us your favorite moosh together zombie names.
Both Okoye and Zucky fall to Zwanda, and soon Zrus sacrifices himself to Zala. No, I can't. No, I can't.
Keep going.
No, okay. So both Okoye and Bucky fall to Wanda, and soon Bruce sacrifices himself so that T'Challa, Peter, and Scott Lang can flee on the jet. Prior to that, the fight between all of them was fantastic. Wanda is absolutely terrifying. Again,
Yeah.
I said it, but just seeing her do her moments that she did when she kind of came back in Endgame, where she's just a force to be reckoned with. She can hold back the Hulk. Oh, I'm so excited for her and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Like, I just want her. She's now the Scarlet Witch. I want her to just let loose, do it.
Yeah, I'm like a little afraid though. I'm so afraid that this character that we all sort of fell in love with and saw become the power that she always could be is going to have like a Phoenix moment from X-Men.
Don't you dare.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Right? Because that's the whole
I know
thing.
what you mean, but no.
Right? Because doesn't she creates that whole reality with the kids and the, like, you know, in the comics and everything, and they're like, we got to kill her.
Yeah, I mean, in this one, I'm hoping that the kids are just kind of alive, but also if she's hearing him from another universe, either they went to another universe, like she did it without realizing it, or she's about to steal some other Wanda's kids, and I don't think we need 2 Wandas fighting each other, because that's just
that's a good point.
mayhem.
Yeesh.
No thanks. Anyway.
Co-parenting.
Yeah.
You get every other weekend sort of thing.
Co-parenting. So Peter realizes that almost all the Avengers are now gone, but the always wise T'Challa consoles him in saying, in my culture, death is not the end. They are still with us as long as we do not forget them. And I'm just going to say, we all assumed, just like most people assumed, that episode 3 was going to be Boseman's last T'Challa performance. This line like really serves as a poignant send-off for both him and his character. I was like, oh.
Good call.
Like, is that the last line he says as Black Panther? If so, it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it really resonates with the character. It's like, oh, so good. So good. But while these remaining Avengers aspire to save the world once they get to Wakanda, the episode concludes as a zombified Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet is waiting to receive his final stone. Alas, it truly might be the end of the world.
I thought he had all of the stones.
No, that big middle one's missing.
Oh.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Wait, rewind the tape. Which one's the middle one? What is he missing? Is it the Time Stone? Doctor Strange?
But he got the yellow stone. He got the Mind Stone at some point from them.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the middle one. Oh, I don't have my.
Oh.
I was looking for my Infinity Gauntlet, but it's at work. Yeah, the middle one on the back of his palm, or the back of his hand.
Well, I guess on the back of his palm.
No, because this isn't a palm.
Yeah, but it's the back of his palm.
Okay.
The back of his palm is. I'm trying to help you.
Isn't the back of the palm just the inside middle of the hand?
Guts.
As you can see, we're not scientists nor biologists.
I never said I was a scientist.
Yeah, but these, I mean, the episode, I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna end well. Like, it's going to go to Wakanda and they'll find the cure. But I'm curious, like, again, this feels like there could be a part 2. Like, there could have been more. So are we going to get part 2s this season, or wait? Or is it somehow going to conclude?
I don't know. To me, it's just kind of like the Watcher's like, wink, you know what happens now, wink. It's an old zombie snap.
Well, I mean,
zombies got it.
They're already dead. So, like, why do you... Oh, I guess not the universe. Does Thanos... Well, what would zombie Thanos do?
Oh, yeah, no.
What would zombie Thanos take away? Still half the population?
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, but I guess it's... I don't know. But I don't know. It seems like your main driving force is still there. So, zombie Thanos was on a mission to give the old snap.
I wonder, like, how would that even work out? Because, I mean, Peter went away during the snap, so he'd be gone. Scott was stuck in the quantum realm when it happened, so maybe his head would still be there. T'Challa got snapped, so, okay, good luck, head of Scott.
I guess he'll get rid of half the zombies. That's cool.
Just the cloak of levitation with Scott's head. He's going to save the universe. God.
That'd be pretty baller.
Peter Quill's not going to be there, so he could probably just take the Infinity Gauntlet off of him.
That's true.
He messed that up on Titan. Just saying. Never forget Peter Quill for questioning Thanos after Gamora died. Dummy. Big
Good
old
for you.
Dummy. Okay, that's all I got for this episode.
Yeah, me too. So many mixed emotions.
It was great. I mean, there wasn't too many Easter eggs in this one. It was a fun zombie ride. I liked it. I don't think it's my favorite of this series so far, but it's not my least favorite.
It could have been more fun if they leaned more into the zombie genre. Right? Like, really make it creepy zombie.
Yeah, I feel like if it was, I mean, like, it seemed like they were trying to do a little bit of Zombieland-ish shtick to it, where it was like, it had some good action, it had like tiny itty-bitty terrifying moments, but a lot of it was just kind of upbeat, So it was like, I definitely would have preferred more of like the Evil Dead situation as opposed to the Zombieland situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Evil Dead has to deal with demons, but they're like undead demons.
World War Z, 28 Days Later. All that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for me.
All right. Shall we get into the special segment?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to another edition of Things That Make You Go, What? So today I'm feeling inspired by a zombie's favorite food, brains.
Oh, he said themed special segment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I also think that this segment could be called the only edition of Brain Facts.
Is that Bird Facts? That sounds like Bird Facts. What season was that?
It was Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yep. Two ago?
Yep, because Loki and then Falcon. No,
3 ago.
Because of the movies. Yep.
No, and also Shadow and Bone.
Wow.
What day is it?
We've talked about a lot of TVs.
So many pop cultures. Oh my gosh. All right. So there are many interesting facts about the brain, like when we first wake up, the brain... I lost it.
Yeah, you lost your brain.
My brain isn't working. The brain produces 12 to 25 watts of electricity, which is enough to power a small light bulb. Ding!
Sorry, that's so dumb.
That's a fun little light bulb on your head.
I know, but like...
when you get an idea?
Yeah.
Ding, a light bulb.
I want to make a hat where whenever I wake up, it dings.
Like a potato clock, only it's your brain.
In my head. But that way you know I'm up, and you don't try to wake me up.
No.
Because it doesn't work out.
No. Don't go near you in the morning. Learn that. Another fun fact is the human brain contains approximately 100 billion neurons, which pass messages to each other at up to 250 miles per hour.
Take that, Uber Eats.
That's right. And no surcharge. But one of my favorite morsels, get it, zombie brains eating, okay, is that a brain freeze is actually a warning.
What?
So, when you eat or drink something that is too cold, it chills the blood vessels and arteries in the very back of your throat, including the ones that take blood to your brain. These constrict when they're cold and open back up when they're warm again, causing the pain in your forehead. This is your brain telling you to stop what you're doing because you're going to mess it up. If you freeze things too much, then you'll stop getting blood to your brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your brain's like, I'm gonna make you feel this pain, so you stop it. Stop your nonsense.
So weird.
Isn't that weird?
I don't like that. It scares me. Now I'm never going to drink anything ice cold.
Well, there you go. And so I would just say, listen to your brain and put down the ice cream.
Wow.
Or whatever you're drinking.
Wow.
But yeah, the brain is a wonderful thing. And it's made mainly of fat. And I could see why zombies would want to just give a little choo-choo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So there you go. Just a little brain facts for you.
What were the other options to for your special segment? I'm always curious.
What do you mean?
Did you have anything? Because did you have anything in the back end before you found out this was about zombies, or like?
No, I kind of go into it like a little blind every week. And I'm like, I do some research. I see if any facts kind of catch my eye. And then this one kind of, it was funny. I had discovered one about the brain and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I kind of really dug in and I was like, okay, there's a couple of fun things here.
Yeah, the brain has some facts.
Just a couple of facts. Just some things that might make you say, what?
Odd. All right, we're clearly a little delirious as always, and it's very hot in here.
It's so hot.
And you're wearing
a
flannel.
Yes, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
We turned the air conditioner off so there isn't the sound humming in the back for y'all, but we're dying.
What's happening? He's currently going through 7 of his personalities right now. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to A Bite Of, artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite Of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite Of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite Of. Bye!